there's a ongoing investigation with.
Ken, I gotta stop you. I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, okay. On this episode of KD Sports Talk, I mean, we're in a lull, I guess, kind of. We had a big trade back on Friday.
Pretty damn big.
Yeah, well, Friday, right? Yeah, it was Friday. I mean, it was just super confusing.
Well, it turns into like a 3-person trade the way it is.
The way
The
it is
Dolphins
now, yeah.
ended up giving San Francisco the 3rd overall pick, which, I mean, do you trade up and give that much up for anything other than a quarterback?
Absolutely not. The 49ers, if they don't take Justin Fields with that pick, and this is not me being a homer, because somewhere in the last 6 months or so, or not 6 months, that's too long, but ever since the national championship game, Justin Fields' stock has just been like plummeting for no reason.
Well, it was the play where he was playing against arguably one of the best secondaries and defenses of all time. I mean, they were fantastic. I mean,
yeah,
Alabama just destroyed that game.
I mean, it was.
So it's always, what have you done for me lately type of league. It's always that.
I mean, I guess
his last game that he put on film wasn't great in the sense of it didn't look great, but he did a lot of things that I think lesser quarterbacks or less talented quarterbacks couldn't do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's no. Okay, so I guess one big thing that I've been hearing about Justin Fields, I've only heard this a couple times, but there's rumors that his work ethic isn't the best. They say that he is a last in, first out kind of quarterback, and I don't see that. I mean, it's hard for us on the outside to see that kind of stuff because we're never in the locker room. We don't know exactly what's going on.
Right.
But ever since he's been at Ohio State, it feels like he is 1,000% in. And he came to Ohio State to win and to get nationally recognized and to win the starting job. And he did all that.
I mean, I think it's a little easy when you're as good as he is athletically.
Yeah.
But even if you're fast, like let's say that you're just genetically fast.
Yeah.
You don't run a 4.4 without having some type of work ethic. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Which is what he just ran.
He ran a 4.44
today or yesterday.
And he ran a 4.44. And if I'm being completely honest with myself, I'm a little upset with that number just because I think he could have. I think he stumbled coming out of that. And I think he could have got into the 4.3s if he hadn't stumbled when he first started.
There's only been one quarterback that's registered faster, though.
Yes, and that was RG3 back in 2012.
Yep.
I know my number, son. I don't think he was a 4.1.
Yes, yep. It was 4.41.
And I mean, I'm not listen, this is going to be a hot take. Not really hot, but this is not what a lot of Ohio State fans or anybody really wants to hear. I'm glad that he's dropping. I do not want him to go to the Jags. I do not want him to go to the Jets. With San Francisco sitting at the 3rd spot, I want him to go to San Francisco. I don't even want him to go to.
You just want him to go to somewhere he's going to succeed.
And
not be on a shit team. That's the problem with young quarterbacks. They go to shit teams.
Correct. I want him because Ohio State has the worst luck with quarterbacks going into the league.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't matter how good they are.
We try to we try to take Joe Burrow, but I don't think that's going to work out.
Hey, I always claim Joe Burrow. Once a Buckeye, always a Buckeye. He's a Buckeye for life. I want to see him succeed. I don't want to actually. I don't even want to see him in Cincinnati because of what happened to him last year. Like I don't want that shit happening to him. But I would rather Justin Fields go into the league and sit behind Jimmy G for a year, learn under Kyle Shanahan, and get to be around that culture and that they have going on in San Francisco right now with Joey it's not Joey, it's Nick. Nick's up in San Francisco. So Nick Bosa's there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'll be great. And I don't want to, I mean, if he has to play, then he can play, but at least he's playing on a winning team.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're getting all their players back from COVID, and hopefully they'll be in their own stadium with all of their fans. We'll talk about that in a second. But if he goes to a winning team and he sits for a while and learns and fixes, you know what, if he fixes his throwing motion, I was listening to Dan Orlovsky earlier today, and he has a point. He's got a unnatural throwing motion where it's just like, you know, like when you throw like this is natural. He kind of throws like this, and it's not as natural. The ball is more down.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they can work on that, and he's been doing a lot of work out in California anyway.
Of course he can work on that. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many quarterback coaches and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I want. I don't want him to be put. I actually, if I could have it my own way, I would want him to drop even further. I'd want him to go somewhere like where their starting quarterback is established, but he's a little bit older to where.
Oh my God! Sounds like Detroit Lions. That's such
not Detroit Lions. Not Detroit Lions. I want him to go to a winning program.
Hey,
but I'm all right with him at 3. I'm all right with him at 3. Going to the San Francisco 49ers. That'd be great.
So let's go to their trade partner there. You've got the Dolphins, who they jumped back to 12.
Yeah, but they're stockpiling.
Then they jumped right back up to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that they're out of the quarterback market?
I think so.
I mean, if you're looking at it, there's a very good chance that come the 6th pick, they're already on QB5.
100%. I think that let me run through this real fast. Obviously, the Jags take Trevor Lawrence. The Jets take Zach Wilson. The 49ers take Justin Fields. And then it is the Panthers. I feel like that's wrong.
No, they have 8th.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is the 8th. Who is it? But they're taking Trey Sermon. Or not Trey Sermon. Good Lord.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Different. Yes, I know.
You're thinking of Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. There we go. They take Trey Lance. Let's just cut all that out. So
that's Atlanta.
By the way. Yep. Atlanta takes Trey Lance.
Right. And Bengals, they're smart to take that left tackle from Oregon. I mean, that guy is a monster.
I don't even think he's gonna play left tackle though. I think
doesn't matter. He is a bookend tackle. He's gonna destroy it.
I mean, 100%. But they obviously the Bengals aren't taking a quarterback because they have Joe Burrow. They need to get him protection.
They have Joe Mixon, good running back. Yeah. They do need wide receivers. This wide receiver class is deep, so get them later.
Yep.
He focused on the line.
He needs protection.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they need offensive weapons, and they need defensive playmakers. I mean, that team needs a lot. But they can start with protecting the quarterback. That'd be a huge start for them.
Yeah. So let's.
You're looking right there. QB5.
QB5. Yeah, I feel like we're in pretty much agreement with 1 through 4.
We want to do like.
Yeah, let's just do a top 10 real fast. So obviously it's it's Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. Okay, those are the top 3 picks. I would assume that you're thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, but Potentially flip flop 2 and 3.
Okay, so I'm not.
Maybe depending on their grades, but you know what I mean. Like I'm
So
thinking they could be flip flopped, but
so
I think you're
the
right. I think I
I
agree, kind of.
I think that the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson. I think that they have. I just think that they trust him more for some reason. A lot of people are saying that Zach Wilson has a better throwing arm, like
Did you
just more
see his
power.
throw though?
I did see the throw, and it was very impressive, and it's honestly very impressive. Did you see Justin Fields' physique? Because he's the biggest quarterback in this freaking draft. I mean, he is a monster. But that's neither here nor there. So whatever. So 1 through 3, they're all quarterbacks. I mean, obviously Trevor Lawrence is going 1, and that's not going to change. But Fields and Wilson, you can just swap. Now, pick 4. Do you think they go with Trey Lance with another quarterback? Do you think they get Matt Ryan help?
I mean, do you get your next Julio Jones?
Well, like
in
you
Chase?
like you
It's
said,
Chase, right?
yeah. The
Jamal Chase,
Jamar.
Jamar,
Yeah.
LSU wide receiver.
Yes. So I think you do. I think you get
over the quarterback.
I think you get him a weapon. Well, it's okay. So Matt Ryan has time left. This isn't his final season, barring some like serious injury or anything like that. But I think they get him a weapon. I don't think they get him a wide receiver though. I think that they go with Pitts from Florida.
That's different.
I think they get the big tight end. He's
a
huge.
big tight end.
He's huge.
He's got the number 1 wingspan ever recorded.
Yeah. So I think that they go. I think they get him. And he's a big target. He'd be big for Matt Ryan in the red zone, but also I think that he's got the presence in the middle of the field, and he's going to be able to help. Are you serious already with this shit? It's been like 2 minutes. Anyways, there you go. So he's got the presence in the middle of the field to make himself. He's going to be a big presence, and he's going to be a big get for Matt Ryan. So I think they go.
So you're going with Pitts.
I think they go Kyle Pitts at 4.
I'm going the wide receiver. I'm going Chase.
Jamar Chase. Okay. Yeah. So talking about Jamar Chase, 5 is obviously the Bengals. They're not going quarterback.
Right. So there's Trey Lance is still on the board then, according to us.
Yep. I think I already said it. I think they go get, what is his name? Swell or whatever, right? Is it SEWLL? I think it's Swell. Swell, whatever it is. The line
tackle. We should have actually just made a mock draft. Like anyone gives a shit what we did, but
yeah.
But yeah.
I think they get the protection. I think they get the lineman. I know that they have to get weapons for Joe Burrow, and their defense is not good at all. But I think that their number 1 priority has to be to protect Joe Burrow from here on out.
Yeah,
I don't see, like you said earlier, the wide receiver class in this draft is large. It is deep. Get your weapons later.
Second round get a wide receiver. Yeah. Third round get defense. I mean they've got there's a good.
This guy is a generational talent in the line. Mm-hmm. You get him for 10 years, maybe 15 if he stays healthy, and he's going to be a constant presence. He's going to be like Joe Thomas for the Browns.
Yeah,
he's just going to always be there. So number 5, or so for the Bengals, for me, I think it's Swell from the.
I think we both agree on that one.
Okay, so number 6 pick is going to be the Dolphins.
Yeah. So do they go Trey Lance? Do they still land a quarterback?
I think like you said, I think when they dropped out, when they dropped the 12th and then came back in at 6, I think that they were telling Tua that he's their quarterback. I don't think they get. I don't think that you go and get Lance there.
So my thought actually was the fact that they did 2 trades back to back. It was like they already were talking
I think
to
they
the
had it planned
Jets.
out. I think they had it planned
So
out. Yeah.
so them dropping back to 12th to me is minimal due to the fact that they already knew they were going to jump up to 6 after that as well.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think so.
I don't know. This could go a lot of different ways. They could go line, but that's a little bit high for anyone that's not, maybe the left tackle there.
Mm-hmm.
Left tackle that, from Oregon, he's also going pretty damn high, to be honest with you. I'd say based on where they're at
Mm-hmm.
and drafting, they're going to go some type of wide receiver.
I agree. I actually agree with that. I think that they get to a you got to give them a fighting chance.
To me, you're wasting a pick otherwise. Like there's not
Yeah.
people you gotta understand the value of the pick
Yeah.
rather than, you just got to get a playmaker on your team. So I actually
But do they go Waddle? Do they go
well,
Smith?
yeah. So Chase is on your board still. He is not
Yeah.
on mine.
Yeah. I actually I mean, if it's up to me, I would take Devontae Smith over Chase. Um, just and I would take both of them over Waddle because of size.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm not saying that Waddle isn't a great wide receiver.
Smith is small. That's his huge
knock.
knock.
Devontae Smith is tall. Yeah, he's like not as heavy, but he's taller. He's I think 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
He's 6'1". Yep.
Yep. But he's tall.
Yeah, Waddle is actually 5'10".
Yeah. So that's he's going to be in the or in the NFL. He's going to be a slot guy. He's not going to be out running, wide receiver 1, on the left side or anything like that. Mm-hmm. He's going to be inside and he's going to be running slants in the middle. He's going to have to beef up.
Actually, for me, it's either going to be Smith, but I can also see Pitts going here as well. I know Pitts isn't on your. He's not on your board still, but he is on mine.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad pick. Again, that'd be big help for him in the red zone. Like I said, he is a giant target, and for Tua, it's going to be his second season. So
a young quarterback's best friend is a big target in tight end. So
100%. I like that pick there. So I'm going to go Smith. You're going Pitts.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to do that. Which, and I was just thinking. I was thinking of the team. I really wasn't trying to set the Lions up, but I think if that happens, Smith is he's the clear choice there.
He has to be, especially with what you have going on since the Chase is already off your board. Mm-hmm. I don't like. Let me rephrase this. I can't say that Jalen Waddle is not a good wide receiver because he's fast as hell and he is good. But I think Jared Goff needs a big wide receiver.
A bigger one, yeah.
I think he needs a bigger wide receiver. I think for me, it's going to be Jamar Chase that they take there. I don't think they take Waddle. Yeah. I don't, and like I said, Devontae Smith is already off my board here, so I think they go with Jamar Chase.
Honestly, and I'm going to throw that out there based on my board here. Mm-hmm. Lance is an option for us. I don't think he starts. He doesn't start this year, maybe not next year.
But I see it. If they go Trey Lance for Detroit, that he cannot start within the first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
he can't.
He's developmental, and we're in a good state where we're building a team, and we can get rid of Goff after his money and
Yeah. I mean, if Goff does well for you guys, then you have Trey Lance to trade.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, I mean, if they, I, I feel like that's too calculated of a risk for MCDC. I think that I think he's in the here
Well,
and the now.
no, he has told us multiple times this is a 3-year minimum project.
Well, yeah, the team is a 3-year minimum project,
Yeah.
but he wants to get,
Yeah, you
he
got to
wants
get
to get,
someone in there.
yeah, he needs to get something going now. He needs to get weapons for Goff now. And they really didn't do much, obviously, in free agency for that.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're taking Smith, right? For you and Chase
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that brings us to the 8th pick, which is the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
It's not, it's, I mean, for me, it has to be Trey Lance.
Yep.
They really don't have anybody. I mean, they have Teddy Bridgewater as quarterback right now. I don't know. I don't think that he's going to be your franchise guy. I think you go and get Trey Lance. I think that you get him, you set him, you do not start him, you develop him. He has played what? It feels like one game. Like I don't want to like say anything too negative about the kid because you know you can see his highlights. He has an arm, but he needs developed. You cannot start this guy right away. But I don't think that Carolina can pass him up. I don't see them.
No, he's definitely a take it now. Matt Rule, the head coach, he's worked with quarterbacks. I mean, that's what he does all the time. Interesting about this is I don't think neither of our boards have Pitts remaining, correct?
Correct.
Matt Rule was the one that offered. That was the first offer that Pitts got when he was in high school. Was from Baylor Matt Rule.
Huh.
He mentioned that during his pro day. So if he's there, and you know things don't go the Carolina's way, you can see Pitts going there as well. But that's a side note. But let's move on from Carolina. We've only got 2 more here. I've got the Broncos.
Yep.
Our next. Whew.
Do they have so much to do on the defense?
Yeah. Do they go defense or do they continue like Waddle's still out there?
Yeah. So mine too.
But do they go Patrick Surtain the second from Alabama, the cornerback? Do they take another wide or offensive lineman? The Northwestern offensive lineman?
He's really good. He's really good. I think they go defense. So the Denver Broncos, they have what's the quarterback's name? I'm blanking. Drew Lock. There we go. I knew it was there. He is not good.
Hey, but you know what? This year, John Elway stepped away.
Yeah.
He gave someone else the GM job.
Yep.
Because John Elway, even though he's a quarterback or was a quarterback, and he was a very good one at that.
Yeah.
He has missed. He hit. I mean, Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning. That's different.
Yeah, but that's different. Like you already knew who he was and you knew what was going to happen. John Elway just had to go in there and sell the team to him.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any.
He has missed every single quarterback since then. They're already at QB5. I don't think the value is good. They might be able to get a quarterback, a little bit more of a developmental one in the second round if they see fit, because everyone else in front of them is already taking quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So they might be able to get something needed. You think they go You think they go defense, and I also do. I'm going with the Alabama cornerback to them.
So that's not a bad pick. Their secondary definitely needs the help. I don't know if they go wide receiver though, or not wide receiver, but cornerback though. I think
their safety is very, very thin. I think it would be a bad value to go safety.
I think it's bad to go safety as well. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm trying to convince myself that they take a linebacker, and I think they take the Penn State linebacker.
You think Micah Parsons?
Yes, Micah Parsons. I couldn't think of his freaking name.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. You can see my eyes on the camera. You can see my eyes going up and down. I was looking for his stupid
name. The reason I know that name so well is he has been mocked to the Lions quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe the Lions pick him. He's got character issues off the field, and one thing that we keep preaching is high character, yep. Stuff like that. I don't think we do it. I think if we do pick him, great athlete, but I think it kind of makes what we've been preaching shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think it's going to work out.
I agree with that. I think that he, I think when he goes to an organization like the Denver Broncos, it's established. You know what I mean? It's not it's not the Raiders. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland a couple years ago. It's not it's not Detroit now. I mean, obviously MCDC is getting his own culture in there, but it's not established.
Right.
So I think
you say that, but who's their fucking coach?
I mean, I get it. I know that. I know that. But I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
you're still in that switching period. I don't think that it would be good for Micah Parsons to go where it's more lax. Like, honestly, if Micah Parsons drops, like if he makes it to the 15th pick or something like that,
mm-hmm.
where New England's at.
Oh yeah.
Like if he could get to go to New England, that would be fantastic for him. He's already a cold weather guy playing at Penn State. So the cold weather is not going to bother him. He's going to go into, he's going to hate his life for the first couple months because he's not going to be able to do anything, but they're going to beat it into him that you are going to be a team player and you're going to change your attitude off the field. I don't like, he's like, even when Randy Moss went to New England, his antics changed.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the same Randy Moss that he was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So if Broncos don't take Micah Parsons there, I hope just for the sake of the longevity of his career, I hope that he goes to a more established program. Look at me calling them programs like you were doing last week.
Program.
Organization. So Micah Parsons for me.
Okay.
And then Patrick's certain the second for you?
Yep.
All right. So rounding off the top 10, we'll just do 10 because this is going to go long enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's been going on for a while anyway, but I think we're making good arguments and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this is for something that just came up off the top of my head. I think we're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So Dallas is the 10th pick. I'm gonna let you go.
So Dallas is known for their offensive line.
Yes. And somehow, some way, Zeke has just not been able to run behind them. But anyways.
So I don't know if they go offensive line again.
No.
But they don't go wide receiver.
I don't believe they go wide receiver there.
They've got CeeDee Lamb and they've got Amari Cooper. They're not going wide receiver again.
Correct. They're definitely not going running back. Too early for that.
I think they're going back. I think we're going to have back-to-back cornerback picks. I'm going to go with J.C. Horn of South Carolina.
That's not a bad pick.
Their secondary needs it.
Their secondary does need it. You are not wrong. I am definitely going secondary here. Um, so for me, I'm torn because the three big ones are still there for on my board at least. So you have Patrick Surtain the second, you have Casey Horn, and you have Caleb Fartley,
Mhm.
the Virginia Tech. Both are so. Caleb Farley is 6'2", 207. That
Yeah.
is a big boy. He's
Hmm.
a big man. Casey Horn is just an inch shorter, so he's 6'1", and they're all big. Like I was gonna base this pick off of their size. I was like, you got to go for the big guy. They're all freaking
Yeah.
big. Like
Yeah.
you got Patrick Surtain the second, who is 6'2", 203. That's 4 pounds. I'm honestly going to take this pick because of the 4 pounds. I think that with him being the lightest out of the three, but being the tallest, one of the tallest, I think that the Dallas Cowboys go Patrick Surtain the second with that pick because their secondary, their defense is
That'd be,
abysmal.
yeah. And
And
if it wasn't for me taking, things kind of worked out weird. I probably wouldn't have. I don't know. My board came out weird, and
Mhm.
turns out the Broncos ended up taking them. But that's who I would have given them as well.
Yeah, I think I mean, like I said, like you can't really go wrong between the three of them. I think they're all, I haven't really watched much tape on Casey and Caleb, but I mean just based off numbers and even just based on their pick, like where they're at in the draft, you got to
Yeah.
assume that they're a good talent. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. That's I mean, my my big takeaway from all of this is Mac Jones for both of us is still on the board after 10 picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any idea where he lands?
A lot of people are mocking him to New England
I was gonna say I've seen New England a bunch too.
because I mean Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels was at his pro day. Uh, Typically, everyone big is going to Alabama's pro
Well, I
day.
was gonna say so don't read too much into Bill Belichick going there because he's best
Yeah.
friends with Nick Saban.
Yeah. So
So
I get so I don't know. I don't. They would be the only one to make. Oh, great! He's gonna just start bark. Yeah, he's gonna start barking.
oh, he misses his mommy.
All right.
Um
So let's continue on with some of
yeah,
the topics we did
we
have.
actually had okay. So we talked about the pro day. We were talking about Justin Fields pro day a little bit ago. It feels like a lifetime ago now. But I do have to talk about something that I saw from Mel Kiper Jr. And I don't know if this is like a new take for him, or if this is something that he has always felt. But he was on that network, and he said that when it comes to drafting a quarterback, there are three things that he could not care less about, and that is their pro day, their 40 time, and their vert. And
I I
I
I
agree
see
with
it.
him.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. And I
Yeah. Typically, I don't. I don't like Mel Kiper. I think he's garbage, and I also think the network he's on is garbage. So
I I saw that, and when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that is definitely a take. Like, I don't
well,
know.
no team runs like actually what Ohio State ran with Justin Field. No team runs that in the NFL.
Right, right.
They
Well,
did a
okay,
little bit with Cam, and he got his ass beat for years. He was good,
yeah.
and he had great results with it, but he got his ass beat for
Mm,
years because of it.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Um, so I don't like how they do pro days for quarterbacks. I do not like how their throwing is or their throwing time is 30 minutes, which so the timing is not bad. 30 minutes is good. You don't want to have them throwing too much, just because, their arm, and you don't want to do anything to it. And, within 30 minutes, you can pretty much get whatever you need. But I don't like that it's scripted. I don't like that they're in shorts and a t-shirt, and that they are, no defense. They're just literally going out there playing catch with their friend.
It's all about backyard bullshit that makes them look the best.
Correct. And I get it. I get that's what they're trying to do. I get that they're trying to make the quarterback look the best that they can during his pro day, because it's meant to help their draft stock.
And
I'm fine
honestly,
with that.
if you're a scout or you're watching it, I don't think you're paying attention.
You don't pay attention. Yeah.
Certain like I think you pay attention to different things. His drop back, his release,
his mechanics.
Yeah, so you're gonna pay attention to that stuff. You're not gonna pay attention to, can he chuck the ball? Yes, he can chuck the ball. He's a Big Ten. He's an Alabama quarterback. He's a quarterback.
He's a top 10 quarterback. Of course, he can chuck the ball.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
So they're looking at different things, as in his pocket ability, his drops, stuff like that.
So I agree. I think that with the mechanics, I think that it is important to be able to see that. I think you can see a lot of that in game tape, though. And I think you can see a lot more impactful results from the game tape, because you see it with pressure, and you see it in a pocket, and if they had, all that good stuff.
So typically, if let's say you do have a fault, let's say Justin Fields throwing, his throwing mechanic. This would be a good time for him to show what he's been working on, if he's been trying to improve it. Yes. So maybe this is another chance for them to look at flaws that they may think that he has, and see if he's been working on them.
So I have a suggestion for just to fix it. Just to fix the whole QB pro day. I have no problem with the other positions, like running backs and linemen and all, like wide receivers, all those guys. I don't got a problem with how they do their pro day, because you need to know their vert and their 40 time, and you need to know like how much they can lift, like how powerful they are. Like, you need to know all that stuff for those positions, because it's important to those positions. With quarterbacks, though, it is all about their maturity, for one. I think that their knowledge is also two, but I also think that mechanics and like game time mechanics is important. So obviously you can't play like a full-on game during your pro day, because no one's putting on pads. There's no way they're gonna let people get hurt. But absolutely not. I think that they can play a simulated 7-on-7, where there's no pressure around the quarterback. Maybe you have like a coach or somebody with a broom, like how they come like with at their shoulders with a broom or whatever.
Yeah, but the problem I see with that is down the field. If wide receivers and DBs are going after each other, someone gets hurt.
That's what I'm saying. So it's simulated. So yes, there are going to be guys covering, but they are not going to, like, they're going to run a cover, like some kind of coverage or whatever, but they're not going to engage in the wide receiver. They're going to be in the spot. They'll be around the wide receiver. They'll run with them. But when it comes to letting the wide receiver catch the ball, you let him catch the ball. You don't try to tackle him. You don't touch him. You don't do anything like that. You are just in the vicinity to show coverage. And I think that would be a better display of a quarterback's skills if you went that route and shown that, hey, you could throw a different kind of coverage at me, and I can, even if it was like doing an audible, like even if it was scripted that they're gonna call one play, he's going to look at the defense, realize that defense is the right defense for another play, and audible to that play. I think that if you showed them that, even if it's scripted, it's a better showing than, oh, hey, watch me throw this ball 65 yards down the field to an open guy who's just going to jump up and catch it anyways.
I understand that, but I think that is more for the one-on-ones when they bring them in and they run them through all that. They run them through the chalkboard, stuff like that.
Well, then, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true,
but you know, but now you're giving more people a broader sense because not everyone brings them in. You know, like
yeah,
you know, the people that won the Super Bowl are not bringing Justin Fields in because what's the point? He's not going to be there.
Right. And I don't think you sit everybody down in the classroom and have the quarterback up front with a fucking whiteboard and be like, all right, well, this is what happens in this play, and you know, whatever. It's not like that, but I mean, yeah, I think that they should do less at the pro day. I think that they should do the simulated 7-on-7 just to show that their mechanics and show that their game time decisions are, you know, up to snuff. And then you have the personal workouts where they do the more of the knowledge based stuff.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that they should update this because I mean, more and more. I mean, if Mel Kiper Jr. is saying, I don't give a shit about their fucking pro day anymore. Like, it's stupid. Like, it's nothing. It's scripted. He's gonna look the best he's ever looked in his whole career. Like, what's the point of going? Like, so what's the point of doing it?
I actually agree. I don't get excited. Everyone wants to put, you know, the googly eyes on Twitter every time someone posts some stats or whatever. Whatever. I'm done with that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't. I when people are talking about it, and I'm glad people are talking about Justin Fields pro day because he did look good. But I mean, there's a reason why he looked good, and I'm not too homerish to admit that.
It's everyone. There's a reason Zach Wilson
look good. Yeah,
it's because he's a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 5 quarterback right now in the draft, and that's just how he's going to look.
Yeah.
We can go over a couple of these kind of pretty quickly. Fuck Sue. He signed with the Bucs again.
The Buccaneers are bringing all 22 starters back from the Super Bowl. It's going to be a repeat. I don't even want to hear anything about anybody else. Okay.
T.Y. Hilton, 1 year, $10 million. He's worth that if he actually stays healthy.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm glad he went. It's the same thing with Juju. It's the same. We talked about it last week. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Ty as it is with Juju. I'm glad he stayed home for the 1 year. You're gonna get a lot more love from your home team. You're gonna get.
Do you really want to go 1 year to someone and then
in a couple of years or
not in a couple of years? The very next year you're gonna be somewhere else. Most likely
somewhere else. Yeah, correct. So Trevor Lawrence is not going to the draft in April. I am really thinking about going to the draft in April. It's going to be in Cleveland, and it's going to be a fucking blast.
Wait until it's in a better city in 2024.
Is it? There's Detroit.
No, not right now. But our president actually just had an interview today and said that we are very serious contenders for it in 2024.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of fights. Okay, so I don't know. There's not a lot to talk about with Trevor Lawrence not going to the draft. I think he's going to be the first overall pick not there in a long time. Obviously, last year that doesn't count, but you don't really hear about a lot of guys declining to go to the draft.
When you're the number one overall pick, you can do the whole. He's not. I don't know if he's going to get the same experience because it's in Cleveland and they're allowing fans, but he's probably not going to.
He's going to get booed.
He is getting absolutely hammered at home as soon as the cameras are gone.
Are off. Yeah, he's going to have a good time. In Georgia. He's going to be at home with it. Well, no, I think he's going to be in Clemson. I think he did say he's going to be in Clemson with his family and friends. And he's just
because he probably could have only brought like maybe his mom and dad.
Yeah,
and usually they have like a whole table of people, and So
Yeah.
he's just doing it just to be around people. This
I
next thing that you have is
yeah.
really
I
shocking. I
I
wish I wouldn't have read it so you could have told me this.
I know. I had to put it into the show notes only because I would have forgotten, one, and
Yeah.
two, I would have found it again if I hadn't. But this is nuts. I do not know how this is true. So there's a tweet. I don't, hold on. I think I cut it off, so it doesn't even matter. But the Buccaneers have been a franchise since 1976. Tom Brady signing his second contract with the team. What is it, last week or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
He becomes the very first quarterback in franchise history to sign 2 contracts with the team, that extensions and all.
That's insane.
That is the
Absolutely insane.
craziest stat ever.
This is also the craziest stat ever. Is this is the a football team that won a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson as quarterback. So
Yeah, yeah.
this team is kind of weird here.
Like I hope that I'm wrong. If you know better than me,
Yeah,
please
prove
in the
us wrong on
comments.
this one.
In the comments, put it down, because if this is not true, I want it to not be true. I really do. Because how do you go for 5 years, 45 years in the league and not sign a quarterback more than once?
Yeah.
That is the craziest thing in the world. The Browns haven't even done that, dude. Like, come on. Like, we at least sign our quarterbacks a couple times.
Yeah. And just continue the losing at that
Yeah.
point. I hear you. I understand all that.
So we'll get off that. That's just something crazy.
If that is true, that's a crazy stat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you want to call it a stat, but it's crazy.
I mean, it's a crazy fact. But okay, so 17 games have been approved officially. I think it came out yesterday. I think that it was official.
I can't believe that it wasn't. I don't know how that got approved.
Dumb. Do you want to know how it got approved, big guy? Dollar bills, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I just signed,
like what I'm saying is the CBA. I can't believe the CBA allowed.
Yeah. So I am a fan of this because of being a football fan, and more football for me is more happy me. So I'm cool with that. I am not a fan for the players. Adding one extra game, it's a lot, not just for for their health. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so Pat McAfee was, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about it, but there was this confidential email that got sent out around the league, and the very first line of that, because it was about the 17th game.
Mm-hmm.
The very first line on that email was, "Player safety is of utmost importance to us." That is the biggest joke ever. Like,
so
no,
my thought would be, this is my fix, my solution.
Mm-hmm.
We do an 18 game schedule. The
You
teams
like
get
numbers.
The 2 bye weeks.
2 bye weeks.
You don't understand. The Steelers were fucking irate last year.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. When they thought they had a bye week, and then they moved their bye week, and then they didn't really get a bye week. Players really they really need that bye week.
Oh yeah. I mean,
giving them 2, you're getting more football, you're getting more games, you're getting more money.
Yep.
But the players are still only playing 16 games.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's the best way to do it.
So I don't want to call it a fix, because I don't think it's an actual fix, but I think that this year you're going to see a lot more players playing half games or just not playing at all. You're going to get, especially like with the interconference games. So like when the AFC plays the NFC, I think they have 5 of those games this year now, maybe 6.
The Lions added the Broncos for game 17. We're going there.
the Cardinals are coming to Cleveland this year. I'm actually kind of excited about that game. JJ Watt, Kyler Murray. It's gonna be a good time. But so I think that when you get those games, that I'm not going to say they're not important, because every game is important, and that's why the NFL is so great. It's not the MLB where you're playing 182 games and you just throw away half of those because no one gives a shit. So in the NFL, every game still counts, but those interconference or those out of conference games are less important. So I think you're going to see a lot more guys sitting, or at least only playing half the game during those games to get more rest and to keep their bodies healthier. Like I said, I'm about it as a football fan. I understand, all the money that the NFL is making. I just you know what? Here's another fix. Fuck 57 or 53 guys. I think they should go. I think they should.
Give them the ability to.
I think they should have
switch
more
out players. Yeah, for sure.
Because if then you get you could have a 60 is a round number just for conversation's sake. I don't think they should go up to 60. I think that's a lot more salary cap that a lot of teams don't have right now. Now in 5 years, when it's a $250 million, they'll have the money for it. But as of right now, it's a lot of money for the salary cap. But 60 players is a good round number, and that would give you an extra running back, an extra wide receiver, a couple extra linemen, that you can swap your players out better, faster, let them sit for a couple more plays so that they can get the rest that they need, and or just not play a full game so that they can get extra rest. I think they have to do something like that. I think
it's going to dampen the product on the field.
It could. There are going to be teams that you're not really going to notice a difference, on both on the high end and the low end. I really don't think that the Buccaneers are going to have a problem dealing with this extra game. I mean, you might see their backup quarterback a little bit more. Tommy might, or if they had the game in hand, Timmy's probably not going to go out there, but it's whatever. But yeah, I think
speaking of this season, actually,
Goodell's
saying full stadiums.
Yeah, baby, full stadiums. That's what I'm talking about.
Am I going to have to elbow a old lady for my vaccine so I can get there?
Dude, you know what? I'm telling you what, right now, I was all about not getting the vaccine for myself because I went over a full year of working every single day and not getting coronavirus one time. So I was like, fuck it, I don't need the vaccine. I'm already immune to it. I don't need that shit. I will get vaccines tomorrow if I am promised that I can go into Cleveland or go into First Energy Stadium and live it up in the dog pound. I'm about that life.
So let me tell you, I want to just go over some of the people I will be seeing, or some of the teams I will be seeing this year, because I will be at every single fucking game.
Hey,
having missed it.
Yeah.
We got the normal. We got the the Vikings. You
got your home and homes with your conference.
We are also going to be seeing the Ravens, which will be the first time for me.
Lamar, that'll be a good game. That'll be a fun time.
I get to see potentially Justin Fields in San Francisco.
Oh, I didn't think you guys were getting San Francisco this year. I
get to boo Darius Slay III from the Eagles when he shows up, the little bastard. I get to see the criminals of the Bengals.
Well, I mean, just because their line is criminally bad doesn't mean they're all criminals.
No. The Bengals are typically like legitimate criminals.
The legitimate criminals. I know. I was trying to make a joke about how bad their line is.
And then I get to see the team you're excited for, the Kyler Murray. I get to see JJ Watt.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be
awesome. I've already seen JJ Watt.
Mm-hmm.
He fucked over whatever.
Yeah, the past is the past, man. The past is the past. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. only because for a long time in my actual career, I worked Sundays.
Mhm.
So I was never really able to go to games, and I was never able to like enjoy like every single game. But now I have every Sunday off,
Yeah.
and I'm
I have every Sunday off as well, and it's
uh, I'm planning on it, man. It's just every game. It's gonna be so much fun.
game day for me. We go over to my friend's house.
Mm.
We go straight to the game, and we sit in our car and make fun of other people that are tailgating. That's always a fun time.
I love tailgating. I don't really tailgate for
we
NFL games.
we don't do we just sit in the car, and they're drinking in the car, and I'm just enjoying
Mhm.
myself.
Yep.
And then we go in and we ruin someone who's rooting for the other team. We ruin their day. Whether they win or not, we still ruin their day.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially if you guys lose, you can't let them be happy.
Yeah. And then we go straight to Hooters and watch the 4 o'clock games. That's every single Sunday
Yeah.
that the Lions are home. Just know that that's what I'm doing, and mostly sad. Usually.
Yeah. I'm usually burying my face in a lot of wings at 4 o'clock. Yeah, I am. I could not be more excited for this. It's gonna be great. So let me see one more time. Okay, full stadiums. Did you see what Dan Snyder did?
I didn't.
So obviously Dan Snyder's owned the Washington football team since 1999. And since 2005, him and his family has owned the majority share, but he has had minority owners. I can't speak.
Probably because it's just so expensive.
Yes, 100%. It is owning an NFL team. Surprise, surprise, is a very expensive endeavor. But as of today, I believe. Well, as of today, I'm recording, so that'll be Wednesday. So everybody else watching this.
Yeah, the 31st.
Yep. He has been approved to purchase the other 40-ish% of the team from his minority owners, to making him and his family the
sole
owners of the team. So sorry about that. Well, I had to take a quick emergency break.
It was an emergency break.
We'll get back to it right now. Okay, so sports trivia time. Whatever, I don't know. Sports trivia stuff. Okay, so last week we had a really good one. This week I'm coming up with it. Well, at least coming up with mine. So there have been a lot of talks with Russell Wilson and his team. I'll say his team's unhappiness with how the Seahawks have been protecting him.
Yeah.
So got me thinking, about sacks and protection and all that good stuff. So I look back at the past 5 years. I didn't go 10. 10 was a lot of numbers. I don't pay the math budget around here, so 5 is enough.
Okay.
So in the past 5 years, there have been two quarterbacks that have been in the top 10 most sacked each 5 years. I will give you one wild guess as to who one of them is, but can you name the second?
Are they both okay? So they've been quarterbacks for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So in the past 5 years, they both have been in the top 10 most sacked
every year for the last 5 years.
The last 5 years, they're the only two quarterbacks in the league.
This isn't like a stupid one where it's like, oh, this guy you know, he's been around everywhere. Like these are established guys.
These two are established guys. Yes.
Okay.
When I went through when I went through this, when I was going through the list, I was surprised about how many quarterbacks were only in the top 10 once within the 5 years. Like I thought that there would be more
Yeah, because
established people.
I'm expanding it because now I'm thinking, who's been playing for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Sam Darnold.
I don't think Sam Darnold's been playing for 5 years. Or if he is like this is his 5th year, but I think he's still on his rookie contract, right?
I don't freaking know, man.
I will let you know.
The answer is no.
I will let you know that in the past 5 years, Sam Darnold has been on the list one time.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to take, do you want to take another guess, or do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, let me get one more.
Yeah, because
one more shot at it.
I will let you know that this actually kind of surprised me.
Deshaun Watson.
He's only been in the league for 3 years.
Jesus.
But I will give you a bonus point because he has been on the list wait, has it been 3 years? Oh man, now I'm gonna second guess myself. But where? 2017. So yes, it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Because he was in the 27, so 2018, 2019, 2021.
I have no idea. I don't have any clue, inkling.
Okay.
Clearly, every team that I thought had a bad line has had a quarterback that's only been there for like 2 years.
Yeah. So it's Matt Ryan.
I can see it. Matt
Ryan has been in the top 10 for most sacked quarterbacks for 5 years. Yep. Okay. Now it could go back further. I didn't get that far, but the 5 years
is the most relevant. That's perfectly fine.
The 5 years, but that's what I was looking at. So it's Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan. Now there are 3 other quarterbacks that were in their 3 out of the 5 years. You already touched on one, Deshaun Watson, which I'll get to him in a second. Mm-hmm. But the other 2. I know the other 2. You just have to think about it. So these quarterbacks have been in the top 10 most sacked quarterbacks 3 out of the last 5 years.
What about Ben?
Big Ben? No.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he's not on the list at all.
Because he can't fucking move anymore. He's a goddamn freight train back there.
Yeah, he's a statue. He's a statue. But
see, I'm looking at, I don't know if Stafford has been.
Yes, Stafford. Okay. He is one. But who is the other?
Yeah, I'm looking.
This other one actually surprised me more than Matt Ryan being on 5 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So him being 3 out of 5 years is more surprising to me than Matt Ryan.
I mean, I'm just looking at the teams. I don't see.
You listen. I'm trying to give this to you here, okay? Yeah. You know him. Like this team very well.
Well, it wasn't to me. Rodgers isn't the one.
He is the one.
Is he?
He is the one.
Because I was thinking Kirk Cousins. And if we're gonna pick one.
Yeah, he's on the list twice. He was on the list twice in the past 2 years or the past 5 years. But so what's surprising also is that actually Aaron Rodgers' average over those 3 years is more than Matt Stafford's. He is sacked an average of 45 times a year. Those top 10 years. Matt Stafford 41.7. And what was even crazier than that, Deshaun Watson is average is 56.3 sacks a year.
Oh my God.
56 on average.
Yeah.
It's great. His highest sacked year was his rookie year, 65 sacks.
Jesus.
65 sacks.
Why is just Deshaun Watson unhappy? Who knows?
And Russell
it's a
Wilson,
mystery, everyone.
Yeah, it's a mystery. But Russell Wilson, the whole reason why this thing started, all 5 years, the top 10, actually top 3, all 5 years. Average is 49.6. Round that bitch up to 50 sacks per year. I wonder why he's unhappy.
Right. Okay, so for me, it's not that difficult.
Yeah, that one was pretty hard. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that
lie,
one
but
was
I
very
was
difficult.
inspired. I was inspired.
That's perfectly fine. I'm not. No, I was just saying like mine isn't going to be horribly guessed. Can you see what's up?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, so what is the toughest division in the AFC and NFC based on as a total, as a whole, winning percentage?
Just last year alone?
Yes, this is just last year.
Okay, so
I've got them ranked here. I've got their winning percentage as a division.
It's a division,
And
okay.
I could rate them 1 through 4 for you. So
okay, so I have just the fastest of questions. Why is the Colts in the AFC North?
That's a good question. I don't know why they put them there.
And
where where is
where's Baltimore?
Where's Baltimore at all? Maybe this is an old one. Give me 1 second. Oh, hold on. I gotta take this away because it's messing me up. Like I can't.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
Pick. Yeah.
That sent me through a loop real fast, and I was looking.
Thank you for noticing that. I can't believe I didn't notice that.
And I was like,
that's dumb.
Did the Ravens like have like a horseshoe for some reason?
Would you be upset?
If the Colts were in the yes and no, because they bring our winning percentage up, but the Colts are also really good.
This one looks like it's more accurate.
There we go. I don't have as much animosity towards the Colts, so
right.
Yeah, that looks better.
That looks right. Yeah,
that looks right.
Yeah.
So in the last one, the Colts, were they in the AFC South as well? I guess I didn't look into it that much.
I'm not even going to go back to that. We're
powering
forward here.
We're powering forward. Okay, so winning percentage.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll just have you pick out the first one, and then I will tell you the rest.
Okay, so I think that. Oh man, this is tough. So winning percentage for last year. Oh, I thought you said this wasn't going to be hard. Okay, so no, because that.
You just picked the division that had the best teams in it with the most wins.
Okay, so I'm going to say that the AFC West had the highest winning percentage.
Okay.
In the AFC.
All right.
And then
yeah, I mean 25% chance to be right.
Yeah, I know, but really with the NFC, I have a 33% chance of being right because I know it's not the NFC beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the NFC South.
Okay.
But I think it's the NFC. I think it's the NFC West.
Pick one, man.
But the fucking San Francisco 49ers had such a shit schedule or shit year. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with the South, and I know I'm wrong. It's fine.
You are wrong on both of them.
Fuck! No!
So the AFC North with a 59.4%.
I didn't pick us only because of obviously the Bengals won.
You did pick number 2 for AFC. They were number 2 at 53.1 and
59% as a division. Jesus Christ, dude, we carried the Bengals like crazy. That is my bad. That is my bad. Everybody, I should have just went homeward there and just picked us and just known that I was right.
The East was so bad. The East was so bad.
NFC?
Yeah, that Buffalo carried everyone to a 50% margin.
Oh, the AFC East.
Yeah, the AFC East. It was so incredibly bad.
Yeah.
The other team. And
both.
Then
Both
South,
the East divisions.
South is 42.2%. For the NFC West with 56.3, and then the North. The North is 51.
Should have went with the West.
The South is 50% even, and the NFC East, this garbage division, 35.9%. What a garbage!
Oh my God! You're.
This is like take one out, put the Lions in the East, make us happy.
Oh my God!
Give us a chance,
dude. For real, you guys should just petition to get into the freaking East. You
easily
win every year. It'd be guaranteed playoffs every year for you. Oh my God!
Absolute garbage team.
I should have. I can't believe I didn't go with AFC North. I should have. I mean, because the Ravens.
You had 3 teams in the playoffs, right?
We had 3 teams in the playoffs, yes, but on top of that, I think we all had 11 wins.
That's what I'm saying. Like should have been pretty easy that you had 3 teams in the playoffs. You should have picked.
I was overthinking it.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know
I bet that's what you were doing is the Kansas City.
So it was Kansas City, and I just I didn't really watch the West that much. Like I didn't watch too many of their games, so I overthought that too much. Okay.
Sure did. I thought it was a decently easy one.
It should have been. It honestly should have. I just didn't want to homer too hard, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going out on an L on that one. I can't. The division I picked for the NFC was 3rd. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible at this. So that's the KD Sports Talk. We're thankful for you guys watching. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it, tell your friends. We're just trying to, grow, get this thing going. We want to make this thing real. So we got to get this thing going.
Yeah. I want to start a movement about Stafford looking fat in a Rams uniform.
We're not doing that.
We're starting it.
We're not doing that. You're not. He is going to do great out there, and everything is going to be fine. And you're going to.
I didn't say he wasn't going to look great. I just thought it was going to look fat doing it.
I don't know, man. He's going to be out in Cali now. He's not going to be having.
He's going to be the Ben Roethlisberger of California.
No, man. He's not. He's going to be. He's in California. He's going to be eating vegan here within the next couple of weeks.
Awful.
And he's not going to be having all those blue collar meals. Yeah. He's gonna look thin. But again, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. Everybody knows what to do. Share. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.